where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
In, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Do you understand?
Tune in to the arena with Chris and Iwogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV.
If you have found it now,
join us.
We'll have used it to start the show. Yes, dear viewer, many thanks to you for joining us on the show, The Arena, reaching you from Aneke TV. We stream on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. You could join us there just on Aneke TV. My name is Chris Aniwogo. Thanks for joining us on the usual show where we come to not just to whet your appetite on burning issues and matters, we also it's our intention to see that we actually keep you satisfied with our analysis, okay, on this platform when we take on issues and matters, burning matters, issues in the society. Okay, today we have our guest who is a regular on this platform, a man who has chosen to dedicate this part of his time on running what I choose to call national service. Yes, that's what it is. We are very grateful to him for doing this. Dr. Andrew Ape, he's a senior lecturer in the Department of Mass Communication at the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT here in Enugu. He also doubles as well as the chairperson for the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that's ASU, for the same institution, ESUT. Doc, it's a pleasure joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're highly welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, he's not here to talk about ASU Palava. He will do that maybe some other time. Today, we want to have his take on the proposed digital examination for WAEC students. Are you aware of that development? Now, WAEC is proposing to go digital with its examinations. We want to look at the implications, the possibility, what it holds for examination for our students here in Nigeria. So these are more issues and other academic related issues that we may be bringing into the course of discussion. So join us now.
I'm Ernest Mesoma, and we are out the streets today to talk about what Nigerians think about WAEC going digital in 2026 and how it will affect village students.
Okay, I have no issue with WAEC coming digital 2026, but they should do preparation before 2026, making sure that every examination center has adequate computer system for all their students, their candidates, and then ensuring that all the candidates are computer compliant. It's not just bringing computer and then telling the student that cannot operate computer to start writing the exam using computer. It's going to be a waste of time, waste of resources, and waste of energy. So if they can get the student ready for CBT before 2026, they should bring it. Otherwise, the first thing is to get them ready and get the schools equipped. Shikina?
Actually, I have no problem with WAEC going digital. But the problem is, how sure are they that in some rural areas there is network? Are you getting it? Because in past experience, I discovered that in some jam centers, at times network do give problem, and before the candidate will meet up, at times fluctuation of network, it will affect the student capability or ability to pass very well. And secondly, talk of electricity or power supply. In last time there was a standby generator, but unfortunately there was no NEPA and the standby gen went off. So I don't know the level of plan or that they have put in place to make sure that all these things won't affect student performance?
Of course. It's not like WAEC going digital is a bad.
Okay. Good to return to the program. You heard that from the Vox Pop. Yes, of course, a team of reporters had to engage Nigerians on the streets to get their own feel on the matter. So, but then we have Dr. Ape here in the studio. You are coming from the academic world. How did you receive the news of WAEC proposing to go digital with high exams?
Okay, thank you very much.
And is it a welcomed idea or is it a call for concern as well?
Okay. You know, looking at that idea from WAEC planning to go digital by 2026, one will say that if you examine the benefits involved in that, that is a welcome development.
It's a welcome
but conditionally. It's a welcome development going by the advantages that accompanies that.
Okay.
Because if you check the idea of going digital, first of all, it will try to curb exam malpractice. Because most times, from years past, exam malpractice has been one of the major challenge as regards to WAEC examinations.
Examination malpractice.
Yes, malpractice. And now, by going digital, that aspect of malpractice in WAEC exam will be totally minimized.
Okay.
Because if they go digital, it will be difficult for anybody to manipulate the process. And again, going digital will enhance the process of examination. It will enhance the process.
Enhance how?
It will enhance it in a situation by a student will know exactly what to do. You know, when you talk about examination is supposed to be accompanied by a proper defined way of procedural execution.
Okay.
Once you execute it procedurally, then you can now say that you have properly examined a student. Then this idea of going digital will bring on the table a proper way of executing examination. That is, a student will know that you have this time, you come in, you log into the system. And it is defined that in the system, a particular time has been allotted to that. You will now start writing, and everybody will write the same question at the same time, starting the same time, and conclude at a particular defined time. It's no longer nothing like a human input into it, whereby maybe somebody might just get irritated or emotionally attracted by whatever thing around and decide to stop the exam halfway. Okay. Or even a distraction. This one, you are on your system being guarded and being controlled by your intellect. Whatever thing you read, you just sit there, you answer your question and submit. Again, the advantage of it also is in the speed processing of that examination, like marking of exam papers.
The marking process.
Yes. Now, the idea of delaying in the process of marking will be gone. Because as you are finishing, if it is digital, the results of that exam will be there for you to assess. These are advantages of it. And also, you just, when you look at it, if every effort is being placed on ground to execute this properly without rushing into it, I'm coming to that. You will now see that these advantages of going digital will come in, and the people will drive it, and it will curb some of these human factors that may come in to bring in malpractices and short changes that we see when we go with a human. Sometimes you even see some persons will just come and they say maybe even the blood nature of the materials and all that, all these things will be gone.
Okay.
But if it is digitalized, everything will be fast and it will be accordingly, and all students will be assessed equally and with the same defined process. Then why I say that it must be conditional, that saying is a welcome development is conditional, is that, you know, in Nigeria, most times we rush into good ideas, unplanned. And you now see that the aim of that idea will be defeated because we did not plan ourselves well before going into it. What happened to, as you have that idea, you take out time, process it well, put some necessary basic things on ground, ensure that accessibility will be there. Take this thing down to the 774 local government. Ensure these CBT centers in all these local governments. Then ascertain that there will be electricity coverage within this area so that we will have this idea of at a point, maybe in the middle of exam, they will say NEPA take light, or maybe this power shortage. So all these things, if these things are planned well and budgeted for appropriately, I tell you the benefit of it are there. But the way I'm seeing it is like we are rushing into it. They just came up and they told us about this idea. Yes, we know the benefit side of this thing, but this is November. Very soon we enter December and we're going into 2026. How prepared are we? The hinterland, are we going to assure that there will be CBT centers where these people will conduct this exam effectively and efficiently? Then who are the manpower that will also ensure that these processes are being effectively conducted? Because, you know, technology is all about garbage in, garbage out.
That's right.
If you did not garbage in properly, you should not expect a proper garbage out. So I think that WAEC, this is a good idea, but they have to properly take it easy with the implementation and see that the things required will be put in place before going into. I recommend pilot study of this.
Pilot.
Where did they conduct pilot study? How many states have they texted to see that yes, this will be effective before going into it? Nigeria is too large. For you to just come in, you want to stop, you want to do this thing, that is our major problem. If we conduct pilot study, take like one state, like Anambra, say, or even this Enugu, then conduct exam in one state. See how effective this will be before saying that the entire West African examination will be allowed to embark on this.
All right, so for you, it's neither here nor there. It's a welcome development. After all, the world has gone digital. So WAEC is trying to tag along. WAEC wouldn't be left behind. It wouldn't be an exception to the digitalization process across the world. Well, it's a welcome idea for you, but then with some conditions, as you have stated. Let's take these points one after the other. You made reference to curbing examination malpractice.
Yes.
Yes, we understand, but most of us, before getting to the level we are in academics, we pass through that stage of WAEC examination. It's a must for any student in the country to go through the WAEC exams. It's a must here. So we know what happens. The rate and level of examination malpractice is on the high, is worrisomely and troublesomely on the high. The issue of impersonation, people going to sit for candidates in exams, the issue of people copying and passing papers across. So for you, this digital process is going to cover all of that. But again, Doc, I don't know if you're also considering the fact that from the experience we've had with JAM going digital as well, the CBT exams by JAM, we've seen also where there are some form of manipulation with the electronic process, with the computer system. And JAM begins to cry foul of people still outsmarting JAM to still conduct examination malpractice. So are we still saying that going digital for WAEC will curb malpractice? Going by what we see happening with JAM in Nigeria?
Okay. Yes. Remember while I was talking, I told you that technology is garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
That's right.
But one thing that is clear is that a major feature of technology is accuracy.
Accuracy.
Yes, accuracy. And if this digitalization is being processed well and everything is allowed to go the way it should be, you know, you don't just throw up a process and just allow it vague that way. There must be people who manage that process and ensure that these things will be properly followed. But I tell you that if you compare these two options, you will see that you cannot compare that of the analog style with that of the digital process, because this digital manipulation there is difficult. It can only come when all the persons, the managers of that process are compromising. But it will be very difficult for all of them to compromise. Yes, we have heard some glitches like in some of these other past exams like JAM, the last story we heard, and all of that. But it will be easily dictated when technology is being used.
Okay.
One can easily see that something has gone wrong. Unlike when that of analog happened, it will be so difficult for you to figure that out. So if the system really wants to do the right thing, it will be easily conducted through technology.
So the digitalization exposes manipulation.
Yes.
It exposes fraudulent
because
conduct.
digitalization brings in the open the process of conduct. And it tells you if the thing is being processed in a way that you come in, you queue into the system, it gives you the data, then you attempt to it and submit. If anything happen along the line, you will see that the process has been breached along the line. Unless at the end of the process, somebody there or people managing it wants to actually compromise. But without that, it will be difficult for one to compromise using technology because everything are well wired and seen, and the process of arriving at a point is defined. You cannot cover it. But I still say that no matter how wonderful a system is, it is also left for the anchors of that to determine whether to go by the proper way or by the mago-mago style that they want to do that. So if the system even give you the proper one and you decide to announce the wrong one, that one is your personal decision. But the technology must definitely give you what you imputed in it. That is one critical thing.
Okay, so we give it for digitalization on the basis of exposing fraudulent conducts in during exams. But then again, Dr. Andrew Ape, I don't know about you. I grew up as a village boy. I'm a very village boy.
Likewise, all of us.
You too?
Yes.
Well, I will check your background. I will check. I grew up as a village boy. Coming up from the village, it's not usually easy, measuring up with people whose backgrounds expose them early to city life, to better academic experiences. For students who are schooling in the rural areas now, in the rural communities, in the villages, where access to computer, learning is not available, which is equally going to bring us into the curriculum, pattern of our educational system in Nigeria. We see that computer, the art of learning computer is really not taken seriously in the curriculum, especially when we go down to the rural local areas. Now it's posing students into computer-based examination for WAEC, which is a compulsory examination for anyone who wants to be anywhere. It's in a national constitution that for you to aspire for any elected position, especially the presidential position in Nigeria, you must have your WAEC result certificate obtained. So it's a compulsory examination. So will this not affect maybe the performance of students coming from the rural areas now?
Okay. You see, if you look at this, to be sincere, we are not all equal as regards to technological balancing, because most persons in the city are more easily exposed to some of these things. And sometimes, again, you also check it when we talk about technology. We should not also talk about it in isolation, because even the economic factor can also come into play. And when you talk about the village child, the person that coming from the hinterland, or the other person from the township and all that, you now see that some of these things are intervening variables that will play serious key in the determinant of how this person. But sometimes when you expose these village persons to some of this equipment, I tell you, most of them will run faster than even the persons you see in the town.
Like, seriously?
So, yes. That is why at first I talked about, if you must execute a project like this, you have to take it easy to ensure that there is this proper decentralization and accessibility that is rich. Ensure that these things are everywhere. If you, with what you just mentioned about this curriculum aspect of it, curriculum, yes, it's very, very nice that there is this review of our curriculum in education to accommodate some of these 21st century skills and knowledge-driven angle, because a lot of things have changed. And I tell you, most of the problems we have today are because of the curriculum acceptable and adoptable in our system. A situation where we don't have a history as a compulsory study in the basic education, how will the child know about the background where he's been bred and the thing that led his forefathers and his predecessors into trouble, to avoid those things? Then you now see that most of our curriculum are those of what I call civilization angle to it. Okay. That is making whatever thing that have been brought to us to be the best. Then relegating those original ideas and making us see ourselves as inferior or second-class citizens. So if our curriculum is being reviewed for our own good, is very, very necessary and key. And in reviewing this, everything needs to be accommodated. Okay. You need to accommodate the fact that in this Nigeria, there are different status and statums of societal definitions.
That's right.
We are not all equal. Although sometimes in the process of education in Nigeria, you see that as you grow, there is a way the curriculum bring leveling to all of us. I remember in nursery and nursery school, primary school, you might have your child in these schools that have names and they pay big. But at times, you see, I am in the university, you see that when most of them come together to compete at that level of higher institution,
Okay.
you see that these persons, when exposed to certain knowledge equally, then that's your predisposition and IQ will now begin to reflect in a way that no matter what, although environmental knowledge plays serious key in the factor of intuition and the knowledge-driven base.
Okay.
But when you expose these persons equally, you will now see that the other person who is naturally intelligent will gradually begin to ride. So what I normally say in this curriculum thing, the curriculum now should bring into cognizance the status in the society. See how you now accommodate rich, accessibility,
And the low.
exactly. Once you bring in all of these things, you will accommodate everybody equally in line with where the person measures. And everybody will now follow suit. And also, it is very necessary also for us to say that curriculum review in Nigeria is paramount.
It's paramount. And an information reaching us is the fact that, yes, the federal government of Nigeria has just recently, released a new curriculum for, I think, secondary education, if not even the basic education. But that would make a topic for another day with you or any other academia on this platform. That's it. We need to do a comprehensive, holistic review of that new proposed curriculum for schools in Nigeria. But the worry, Doc, which you seem to be aligning with from some of us, from some of our end, is the fact that if you recall the story of Eze Goes to School, I know you must have read it during your days back then. Eze Goes to School, the village boy who is anxious, who's anxious to get educated, the Western education. It's not always easy. In the first place, you begin to struggle with the art of learning how to communicate in English language, aside your local indigenous language and dialect. Those days I could remember when I visited Warri, Delta State as a little boy. I could have a lot to say in my mind, but the fear of expression was always there. And each time I tried to express myself, I was start speaking Igbo. And I know how many times I was laughed at by my fellow children. They say Igbo boy, village boy. So at that level anyway. But we also understand that the primary school examination that qualifies one into graduating to secondary school used to be uniform. It used to be a uniform exam. The first school living certificate examination for primary 6 is a uniform examination. At the junior secondary class, that's the JS3 class exams, to a greater extent will be uniform too, especially in states. But then at the WAEC level, it becomes broader, becomes wider. So for the village boy who is passing through education in the rural area, it's easy for you to pick up your book, you read, you go to the exam hall, pick your pen and your paper, and you write the exams, and you go home without anybody necessarily asking you, click and garbage in, garbage out. Because these days too, even in the university, I'm not trying to indict your your constituency here, but it's obvious that in some high institutions, Dr. Andrew Ape, you will agree with me when I say that even schools that run such courses as information communication technology, like in our days, we never saw any computer set on the table. Rather, we'll have the teacher drawing the computer on the blackboard with the chalk and telling you this is where you punch and this is where you press and this will get displayed on the blackboard. Not a physical computer on the table.
Yes.
So the practical, learning process is actually killed at the high institution level. Not to talk of the secondary level now that we're trying to expose our students to. How are they going to cope? So isn't this what we should be looking at, since you are advocating for we shouldn't rush into it? Maybe we'll take it gradually. We'll go through pilot 1, phase 1, into pilot phases before we actually launch into it. Do you think the government or even WAEC will listen to what you are saying, that we shouldn't rush into it, considering the disadvantaged position of rural local students? Dr. Andrew Abe.
Okay.
Will this not further widen the gap between children who are advantaged and those who are disadvantaged by virtue of location and environment?
Okay. Actually, you're right there, because this issue of gap between the have and the have not has always been a very big challenge. And the analogy you placed before us is something that I am aware, because I passed through that.
Oh, okay.
And most times you see yourself that even the people from the village, they hear these things. There is no practical approach to them. So, but in this WAEC proposal for digitalization of their process come 2023, if properly approached and properly executed, I tell you, the first recommendation there should be training and accessibility, and also ensuring that in accessibility means bringing some of these things to the doorsteps of everybody and letting everybody know and have this is how it's been done. It's not like maybe when you come to exam, you now start learning how to touch the mouse and the queue in data and all of that. Accessibility means you bring it at least 774 local government. Let there be a center for this, where there is this practical lessons going on. Then school can go there, practice some of these things. Then the WAEC by themselves should also ensure that even the processes that graduate somebody into writing that exam, there should be mock.
Good.
And in that mock, all of these things, students must have passed through these things and see how to do it before coming to that final exam. Then this idea of maybe most times you see everything in Nigeria being theorized in our education is not a good one. It's not a good one at all. Every effective knowledge approach or education must be practicalized. You now see that why do we even have now, you see, this idea of apprenticeship, and sometimes you see that I was telling my student the other time, I say, why is it that a graduate today is not performing as good as those people who dropped out and went to this one boy thing and they do apprentice? It's because most of what they do there is practical approach. You are learning how to market, you are already on it, you are marketing properly. Your guy is taking you to China or taking you to Abuja or taking you to Lagos. You are on ground buying that thing, seeing how to do it. If there is any challenge, you see it and you manage it. Next time you know how to avoid that. But when we keep on theorizing and hoping that in everything, most times you see our education system is just only cram and pour. Then if you continue that way, how do you do some of these things? Then you now see a graduate of communication or mass communication who has never even touched a microphone. Coming to a studio like this, you don't even know what a camera is. How will you even understand what they're talking about? Zoom in, zoom out. How will you even understand the aspect of lighting in the studio? But if you have seen all of these things and practiced them, then it will not be difficult for you to know how to execute them. So I think that these disparities among the have and the have not, the town and the village, all of those things need to be a thing of the past.
Okay.
At least basic education should give everybody equal knowledge or equal accessibility to knowledge. So that the same thing that somebody in the village is learning is the same curriculum that the person in the town is also undergoing. Then anytime that they come at par with each other, they can compete easily. You don't just give the other person the privilege of having it and the other one underprivileged. And that is why you even see, that is sometimes when they talk about this smart school in Enugu State, I commend it.
Good.
Because the person in the village
is also being exposed.
Also being exposed. He knows all those things. It's no longer like the time that you now see computer, the person will not even know what is computer. Phone, the person does not even know what is phone and all that. But now everything is in the doorstep of all of us. We can all have money equally. We can all access education equally. And anybody that is being disadvantaged is doing that at his own volition. Not that the system did not provide that for you.
Dr. Ape, thank you very much. I think you hitting the nail at the right point on this matter. But we're not done yet because signals have been coming. We need to go on this very quick short break. Dear viewers, stay with us. We will be back after this time out.
The Arena with Chris and Ibogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you locked the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing pro-people policy to assuage the harsh economic reality.
It was used to settle political interest, and Nigerians were paying dearly for it.
Tune in to the Arena with Chris and Ibogo every Monday through Thursday by 1 p.m. only on Aneke TV. Join us.
Per se. My worry is that whether we as a country we are old enough in terms of the facilities we have to be able to accommodate everybody. When I mean everybody, I mean both in the rural area and both in the urban areas. Because you find out that there are some rural areas we visit in Nigeria today and you see that you can't have internet connection there. Some don't have enough computers to be able to make this exam CBT. So it's a step in the right direction, but I feel that we really have to do a lot to provide all that is needed to be able to accomplish it. If not, a whole lot of people, especially those in the rural area, will not be able to participate, and that will be unfair to them.
I believe that why going digital in 2026 is the right step or the right direction, because the world is going AI now. You can't change it. If you want to move forward, you move forward. If you want to be left behind, you be left behind. So Nigeria needs to carry their people along so that nobody will be left behind. The whole world, globally, is going on AI now. Digital is acclimatizing everything in the world now. So there's no other option than to get along. So our government will have to carry our people along. So if you refuse to go along, they'll drop you. Others will move on.
I don't think that if WAEC decide to go digital, they must have made preparation for that. Those in rural area, they must have considered those students and also make provision for that. So I don't think there is any way it's going to affect them. The only thing they get to do is to train the teachers so that they can also train those students at the rural area involving the digital they want to go. So
all right, you're welcome back from the break to the program. We are still looking at the proposed digital examination for WAEC students, implications, and away from the streets, back to the studios, we still have the honor of having the presence of Dr. Andrew Ape, who is an academia here with us, sharing his own perspective on this matter. Well, Doc, well said and done. We need to join the rest of the world in advancement.
Sure.
AI everywhere.
Very necessary.
I begin to get scared of this AI thing. Somebody told me sometime, he said there was an advert on one or two platforms. He watched me marketing a product, and I said myself, I said, I'm not aware. He said it was my picture, my voice. I said myself, I am not aware of me doing any marketing for any brand anywhere. So I think it's an AI work or something. So the issue with this AI, I think it should be a matter for another day, how we should go about it. It's getting me scared, what people are going to do with it. But that's where the world is headed. We shouldn't leave our people behind, isn't that right?
Yeah, sure.
So maybe that aligns with your position of saying it's a welcome development that we are going digital with WAEC exams. But the concerns are still there, Doc. You pointed one or two other areas of concern. The issue of Nigeria. Since we said we want to go into cashless economy, we have the ATMs everywhere in the banking sector. But you visit the ATMs and they begin to give you conditions of with time when you should come and get serviced. ATM is supposed to run 24 hours.
Yes.
Operation. Whenever you need the service, you go slot in your card. It's easy, you punch in your digit and you take your money. But these days, you now see that you go to the ATM machines. What do you see? 6 p.m., the banks have shut down the ATMs. Are we still digital with finances? Where are the issues? Where are the issues? So, some other times you want to make calls with your phone, Dr. Andrew Apeh in Nigeria, and the other person is screaming, hello, hello. I can't hear you. You see somebody saying, change your location. For instance, if this program we're running now was to be virtual, you may be hearing, can you change your location? You understand this thing. So, do you really think our society is ripe enough to run digital with examinations, considering the importance of exams for promotions for our students? Where is the network provision? Is it stable? Is it strong? Is it even available in the first place?
Okay, thank you. You see, if we continue to look at a whole lot of issues with our nation and things that we are not getting right, they are enormous. They're enormous. But the truth is that we have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere. It's very necessary. And for every beginner, there must be a starting point. And I am sure that for the fact that we have not been there, it's not also the reason why we should not attempt to be there.
To be there.
So it is always very necessary. The major, what will be crime or what will be so bad is if we are not attempting to get it right.
Okay.
As human beings, we need to live up to date, keep reviewing, re-reviewing, and updating our system to get it right. And I am sure that definitely one day we shall be there. The issue of technology, you know, every new idea that comes with a whole lot of challenges. And this idea of maybe, you see, corruption in the system, and technology is now coming to change that corruption. It will take time before that will be perfected. Because corruption most times enters the blood veins.
Okay.
And it takes difficult for one to just correct it. It's not something that happens overnight. The people who are the beneficiaries of these corrupt processes would always want to
maintain the status quo.
Maintain the status quo. And try to prove the new system wrong so that they will see reason to continue their bad approaches and directions. But I tell you, is it not the same technology that America is using? Is it not the same technology that China is using? Is it not the same technology that Dubai and all these other civilized nations are using? Why is it that the same technology why gotten to our own environment and system, it changes. Then the human factor comes into play here. And that's why I tell you that reorientation of our moral standard is one thing that is very necessary.
Okay.
No matter the amount of technology you bring, so far there are human beings at the end point that controls the final output of this. Like even in our election, we voted, you cast your vote, and it's now left for human beings to allow the readers, result to be pronounced. But sometimes you now see that you cannot bury, or you cannot come and prove that maybe technology has gone wrong if nothing happened to it, unless you violate, or there is a way you manipulated the technology itself.
Okay.
But if the technology is programmed well, I tell you, it gives you that thing and allow the system that you program in it to run that way. So in all of these things, I tell you that in our nation, we have started, it is now left for the political leaders or the managers of every system to ensure that any technology that brought into it is being managed with moral standard. The person, the example you gave of what they used AI to project you marketing a product, you know that normally the moral aspect of it will now bring into judgment. When you are using somebody, or you are using somebody's picture in something that is abnormal, or something that the person did not consent to, will you or have you asked yourself, what are the effects of that to the person that you are using his image without his notice? So morality also comes into basics of judgment here. And until we begin to get our moral standard right,
yes,
we will not also know that certain things are evil and bad on its own. And that is why we keep benefiting from the lapses of others and making benefit from that, thinking that we are making money or that we are enriching ourselves. And that is the problem of the whole Africa. That is the problem of the third world countries. But I tell you, gradually, if these technologies are being adopted properly the way they should be, technology also, as we mentioned, the negative aspect of what accompanies the birth of technology, I tell you that technology has also recorded a whole lot of successes.
That's right.
It has exposed evil. It has exposed corruption. It has in several ways exposed a whole lot of things that people are doing before in a cover, but today there's no hidden angle to them. Even the AI that you talk about, if properly followed, if everybody are educated and the knowledge is there, I tell you, if you see AI products, you can ascertain that yes, this thing is AI. And that is why today, as we are adopting this technological approach and the birth of technology in our system, the knowledge should be there, open to everybody. And once everybody knows that, you can also have access to know that the possibility of AI projecting somebody to something the person did not do is there. Then you're balancing every news or information you get will just be there. You don't just see things or take things the way they appear. You have to balance, you have to assess and get to know that yes, this one could be real or the other one is not real. And that is where sources of information comes in, and also credibility. Sometimes the source of a thing defines the level of credibility you can also attach to them. If the source is being known as somebody that is not reliable over time, it will be difficult for people to believe that source. But I tell you, there are benefits of this AI, benefits of technology, like in the jam that we are talking about.
Yes.
I tell you, if well harnessed and if properly executed. But I am against the rush nature or approach that they are applying to that. Because you cannot just test the technology acceptance while the thing is going on. Come out with what we call pilot study. Use 1 or 2 states to check this thing to be sure whether it is workable.
Okay.
Then, if you use this Enugu state or Anambra or Ebonyi, for instance, then you pick certain local governments in this. The one in the hinterland, the one in the three senatorial zones. Once you use this local government, you can now be able to tell yourself what electricity could do in the process of examination in the
how it could make or mar the exam.
Those things. Then the accessibility, this one in the local center, how were people able to meet up on time? Then also, for you to bring in any new thing, you must also factor in training.
Good.
Training. Train the professionals, the personnel that should man this, so that they know the ethics of operation and they know the thing that guides that operation there. Not just anyhow person coming to learn on the process and doing all sorts of things. And when you do these things, and also noting that there are also sanctions for any violation.
Good.
I tell you, people will not abuse it. And we will reap the benefit of all these things, because each time you say this thing is this, you cannot do this because of the negative angle to it, I ask you, is it not the same thing that you see both China, US, and all these other civilized nations using to advance themselves? It's the same thing they use to advance themselves, and they have always used it to progress their social development.
That's right.
And every other aspect of development in their region. So I advise that we do that, but with recommendations that we go gradual, we train the personnel, and with that, it will bring this leveling equality in assessment of education.
Equal ground for
Yes.
both you at the rural and,
Yes.
those of them at the urban cities. Well, Dr. Andrew Appel, I want to thank you for lending your voice to this matter. We shouldn't rush into it in as much as it's a welcome development. Let's take time to make sure we plan and structure it properly. That's just the message today from this show. The signals are coming for us to round off, but I cannot let you off without asking you this one.
Okay.
The WAEC exam is structured to have essay and objective questions. Now that we're going digital, the digital exam is majorly on objectives. You know, the option A, B, C. Is this not going to kill the idea of essay writing in students if we now make everything digital, where we now begin to punch A, B, C, D on the system? What happens to that essay part of the examination?
Okay.
Do you see the part I'm coming from?
Yes, sure. I see that. You see, when we talk about this digital approach to it, I think I listened to the WAEC man, Isaiah Moss, when he was just talking about this thing and the presentation he made with the National Assembly. And this question came in, and he said that they start with objective and graduate into allowing essay section to come in. Okay. I tell you that time should come when, if these things are properly harnessed, our students will be able to operate these machines and computers as fast as the ones we have elsewhere. And also, you know, most times people will look at objective questions and they'll think it's easy, or that it's not really true test of knowledge. But it's not true, because most times, if you see critical objective questions, it is mind-boggling that you have to read a whole lot of things, then digest it and answer that. The only thing is that even your hand will not be working as fast as when you are doing that of theory. Because theory, the mental output will also be there. But all of these things are accurate way of assessment, which you can use to assess somebody. You might even see an objective that has about 6 lines that you will answer and choose between or among options that look alike. Then if you don't know it, you don't know it. You cannot attempt it. So in assessing a student for exam, it is to obtain whether the person knows it or not. So the other aspect of objective and essay, I am sure that once they start from what he answered while presenting with the National Assembly, they will equally, gradually go into the other aspect of it, which is...
so it's all work in progress. We'll keep watching and we'll keep monitoring. We'll keep bringing you updates with this development as we move into 2026. A lot coming with 2026 in the academic industry. Well, Dr. Andrew Ape, we are done with you on this show, on this very particular matter, but we are not done with you on this platform because there are other issues we need to be treating with you as time goes on. So we look forward to having you come around.
Rally ready.
Thank you very much. And we appreciate you, sir.
Okay.
All right. He's the chairperson of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ESUT chapter, as well as a senior lecturer at the Department of Mass Communication, ESUT. Dr. Andrew Ape is his name. My own name is Chris Aniwogo, saying, let's do the needful before we get into what is coming. Good luck.
Arena with Chris Aniwogo is the platform where we meet to take critical analysis of burning and topical issues and matters in the society as to proper solutions on making the society better.
You came into office, you lock the door to everybody. Nobody can even access you. You don't even play the politics.
Month in, month out, year in, year out. So where is the money going to? Where's the resources?
Whenever the economy is in a shambles, you find the government embracing